So what does this gaping hole in this oil pan have in common with truck bed coating? Absolutely nothing.
Mates, don't forget to subscribe to Jay Hunter's Garage. Hey?
Jay Hunto's Garage. Definitely check it out.
Look out!
So my son-in-law has a 2010 Ford Escape. He put this hole in this oil pan that you see right here. So of course he went to YouTube to see if there's a video on changing said oil pan, and there was nothing. And apparently he did find some comments of other people looking for the same thing. So he went ahead and did it. We didn't actually film the replacement of the oil pan. It's just bolts. It's easier than you think. There is RTV involved. I don't think there's an actual gasket, but this is what we got as far as changing that. This video is for all you guys looking for how to remove the oil pan on a 4-cylinder Ford Escape. Years?
2009 to 2012.
There you go. This is Matt. Welcome to the channel. So we noticed there's a lot of people looking for videos on how to remove the oil pan on these. Well, circumstances dictated last night that the oil pan come off this morning. So Matt, take it away. Show them the oil pan and what you had to do.
Yeah, so this is the oil pan. As you can see, a little bit of a problem. Had a pothole behind the curb. Took a whole chunk out of it. So I was unable to find any resources on getting this thing off other than what's in our shop manual. But I just ended up having to pull off all the bolts on the bottom side. There's two that go in through the near where the transaxle is. Those two were difficult to get out. But otherwise, after that, there's two little. There's a nice little prying area, conveniently at the front, right behind the radiator. You can just hammer a chisel into it and pull it right down. It took a little wiggling, but it wasn't as bad as it seemed in the book.
There you go. So the book was okay, and it tells you to take some things off on the top side of the engine too, right?
Yeah, it wanted us to back off some of the bolts so that we could back the transaxle away from the engine by a little bit to give some more clearance.
Was that required?
It was not required in this case.
There you go. Good job.
I would imagine if you had somebody else change one of these before you and gooped everything up.
So
maybe.
what is the what do you think the level of difficulty this is from 1 to 10?
From 1 to 10, I mean, if you don't mind getting dirty, it was pretty easy.
Just taking bolts out, right?
Taking bolts out.
Okay.
And, you're gonna have to apply a little RTV when you put it back up.
So I think the book said that you need to mark the bolts for the locations they went in because they were differing lengths. Is that required?
I'd say on the transaxle side, you might need to mark a few of them. There's two that look really similar, but for the most part, all the vertical ones on the bottom are the same. There's 4 in the timing cover. Those are all the same. It's mostly army proof.
Very good. All right. So how about gasket?
Gasket, it just says just lay a bead of RTV right inside the bowl holes before you stick it up, and that would include the timing cover side as well.
There you go. So what type of RTV?
Gray RTV.
Gray RTV for oil. Gotcha. All right, new oil pan is on the way. How much was it?
$140
At
AutoZone.
AutoZone. So to truck bed coating, going to use this on the cowl plastic piece goes in front of the windshield on my wife's Lincoln and on my Silverado. I saw this on my son-in-law's Ford Escape where it just looked great, like he had just put some other sort of liquid applied coating on there, you know, like Armor All or Son of a Gun, one of those products. And it still looks great now, and this has been, shoot, years now. You can even see the difference where he had not done such a great job taping it, and you can still see what it looked like before. I'll show you these here. And I'm going to change oil in my truck. So here's Project Oddball, pulling the transmission out of that guy. And what we're going to be doing today, like I said, see anything plastic and black outside tends to start turning white or gray over time. So we're going to go ahead and take these off and use that truck bed coating on that. And also, this is really turning white on the Silverado, so we'll go ahead and get these off, get them coated, get them back installed. Hopefully they look as good or better than new. While we're at it, we'll go ahead and do the cowl on Oddball as well. If you got issues with your windshield washers, now would be a good time to take care of those. This would be a good excuse to go ahead and touch up that cowl, make your ride just look that much better. Little plastic caps come right off. 15mm nuts for the windshield wipers. There are also some 10mm bolts and some of these little plastic push-in screws. Plastic push-in pins, maybe? Looks like there's 4 10mm bolts. Now the windshield washers are in this as well, so I'm sure there's a line connected underneath, although I don't see them up here. Overall, Lincoln MKX, at least this 2013 vintage. Very good vehicle so far. The only thing we've had to replace on it is oil and the master cylinder. Windshield washers are in the hood. That's what this hose is for. So once I pop these never come off easy. I'm going to hit these with some WD-40 and then see if I can pop them off gently. Little plastic caps come right off. 15mm nuts for the windshield wipers. It's a good idea to put some anti-seize on these posts when you put these back on. Keep these from sticking. Try not to pry on your windshield. I think there's an actual tool for this, but when you don't have it, you gotta make do. Actually, a puller would be really good. Okay, so I got the passenger side off with this very small puller tool. It's kind of cumbersome to work with, but it worked. Let's see if we can get it to do the same on this side. I'll turn the camera back on once I get this off. No one wants to see an old guy struggle. Piece of cake, actually. Very easy. I credit the WD-40. Okay, everything's out. This should come right off now. There's some push pins that gotta come out first. common screwdriver. Alright, these are the type of pins that you really need to squeeze from underneath to get out. These are the pins, my goodness. Yeah, so you have to squeeze these together like so, and then pull out the other one. What a pain. This goes in the weather stripping, so I'm just going to slide that back in there. Okay, that's back in there. I'll do the other side now. Okay, that one's out. Had to do the same thing, unfortunately. But she's not destroyed. She'll go back in the hole, no problem. Corner pieces just have push pins. And that's it. She's out. Now we can get this cleaned up and see what she does. See, here's the corner pieces. They just lock in right here and right here. There we go. So we'll clean these up. I'm going to use something. If you ever want to know what's under the cowl cover, here you go. It's your windshield washer motor. So here's a before shot. You can see it's gray. It's still in good condition, but you know, it's fading, and this is the kind of stuff to make sure vehicles look older than they actually are, or not look their best when they are old. So I'm just going to refill my spray bottle with some good old Purple Power. My old bottle finally gave up the ghost, so I just grabbed something that was empty in the house, probably from the wife, and it sprays just fine. I'm going to go ahead and do this on my garage floor because my garage floor needs to be cleaned anyway. Two birds with one stone. Don't work harder, work smarter. So I'll hit this because it says it's got to have a clean, oil-free surface. So I know there's some WD-40 on there from what I just sprayed. So I'll just give this a good soaking, wash it off with water, let it dry, and then I'll hit it with some alcohol before we use the truck bed coating. Okay, that should get anything good and agitated. Now I'll go wash it off. Okay, while that's drying, I'll go ahead and get the one off for the Camaro. Okay, so these of course have the nuts for the wiper arm attachments, of course, same way. But I had taken those off previously, you know, because project car, and I put some anti-seize. Yeah, this thing isn't even connected on these. Let's go ahead and close the hood. There we go, one. And the other one's way over here in the middle. All right, so there's anti-seize on those, as you can see. Super helpful when you're having to remove these. I don't think anybody ever mentions that, but I sure think it's a good idea. Now these are actually in two pieces with a one-piece seal. And it's just got these same similar push pins. They're all wore out, so they come off fairly easy. The good ones I was able to save. That's on the list of parts to replace. So if yours are in better condition than mine, Then you just need a screwdriver to pop these up. The center part should come up anyway. A bigger screwdriver. Okay, that one's out. Let's see, do we have any more in here? I'm glad this, yeah, we got one over here. I'm glad this thing splits in two because this thing actually goes, I mean, way up on the sides of the windshields. It's actually kind of difficult to get it in up there. Let's see, all of them. I think I'm gonna have to pull the freaking, oh no, here we go. Alright. That's why it's got a split in two, and this one definitely has the windshield washers built into the cover itself. So at some point here I'm going to need to disconnect it on the other side. Tearing projects, this is oftentimes my tool tray. Gotta put them wherever you can, right? Except where they're supposed to go. And these are a little bit tricky to get back into these bags. But easy today. Alright, so this is just held in with these push pins. It goes in the holes in the cowl. So this is ready to come out. I might go ahead and take this totally off. Oh yeah. Easier than the Lincoln, I'll tell you that. Chevy got this right. So at least we can get that truck coating underneath the seal. So you're watching this on my GoPro right now, which I am not very impressed with. Yeah, the picture's a little better than what I have, what I typically use, but the battery life is crap. And oh yeah, I got a broken tube there. That's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to deal with that. Does this come out? Let's see, I'll finish getting these out. The battery life is crap. I bought 3 batteries. They take forever to charge and they don't last very long. Picture quality is good. It's got a lot of features. This is the Hero 4, Hero 10, 49, I don't know. All right, let's see if we can, oh, I'll bet that's the feed line from here. Yes, that's exactly what that is. This should just come right out now. So there's your windshield washer plumbing. Line from the washer motor just connects onto here. There you go. I think I replaced this before actually. I'm serious, I've had this car so long I don't remember what the heck I've done to it. Same drill. Make sure you get all the surfaces covered. If you're in a really dry climate like Arizona, this is probably going to dry quite quickly, so you have to do it in smaller sections. Okay, she is all scrubbed. I'm going to go rinse them off, get them drying, and get them ready for alcohol prep. Alright, another thing about this GoPro, which is down to 20% already. The file size with the videos of these is humongous. Maybe that's because the video is higher quality, could very well be, but geez Louise, for people just watching videos on their phone, do you really need any more than this? Okay, truck bed coating. Textured, non-skid. I'm not sure about that. Maybe I better try this out on the Camaro first Before I go messing up the wipes, here's an idea. Let's see what it looks like on the back first. If this has like a really rough texture, like I don't know, something other than the texture of an orange skin, then probably not a good thing. Oh yeah. Oh, that's not bad at all. She got a little bit of texture to her. I mean, very little. But I think that's gonna lay flat just fine. I'm going for it. All right, let's do these little pieces first, and it comes out pretty fast, so it doesn't take much. Done. Okay, now done. If you're like me, you like to touch things as soon as you spray them. That looks good, let's touch it. Light coats, light coats. Might do 2 coats, I don't know. Might just do 1. I mean, but boy, that looks like it's brand new. Works for me. And these dry with a not very glossy sheen to them. Alright, so here we go. It comes out pretty fast, so don't go nuts. Sneak up on it. Oh yeah, it looks nice. Check out the difference. Very good, very good. Okay, I don't want to go too nuts with it. But yeah, that looks nice. Now, if you remember from the pictures of the Escape, it stayed like that for quite a while. So we'll leave this like that. We will touch it just as soon as we put the paint on, the coating, and then we'll move that outside. So I just took that part out in the sun. It looks kind of sparkly, like it's a tuxedo black, so I hope that kind of goes away. I don't want any sparkle. Okay, next part, here we go. Oh, it's great for covering up overspray. Yeah, if you've got old parts like this on your freshly painted vehicle, that can really make things look old. Careful of your spray nozzles for your windshield washers. You don't want to get paint in there and plug those up, although it's probably what I just did. That's okay. Okay, this one looks good, ready to go out in the sun. Next and final piece, until I get up the motivation to do the Silverado. So if you check back here, I'll do periodic updates on how this weathers the storm. Again, watching out for my sprayer that I don't get paint in the nozzle opening. that's a pretty light coat. Gonna go ahead and leave it like that. Out in the sun she goes, along with our other parts. Okay, these are the first ones we did. Oh, this is dry. Yep, that's fine. Looks nice too. Alright, so let's talk about dry and recoat times. Air dry for a minimum of 1 hour at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 50% relative humidity. Allow more time at cooler temperatures. Surface can be recoated within 1 hour or after 24 hours. Allow 72 hours for full cure before placing items in the truck bed. Okay, we're not doing that, so okay, so ain't no one got time to wait like that for a cowl cover. These are going on now. Okay, I got my seal back on. See that? Just snaps right back in. Piece of cake. Got that back on, so I'll go ahead and install it and then install my corner pieces. It's a good time to get any leaves out that might be under here. You know, while you're in there. So the cowl has clips that clip under the windshield. You'll see them. Next up are the corner pieces. Try and remember which one's right and left. Which one's right and which one's left? Piece of cake. I knew it all along. Okay, both those corner pieces are installed. Now it's just the screws and the clips for your seal. So those just dropped right in almost by themselves. And then we can put the washers back on. Yeah, that fits nice, looks good. Okay, 10mm screws. There's some extra holes here, but that's not where the screws go. Got our little push pins. Yeah, it actually looks really nice here. It is kind of sparkly. I think that might just be a little bit of gloss. Okay, so I'll never find that. Push pin. Push pin. There's only 4, it looks like. Here's another good use for a power probe. There you go. Wonderful tool. There we go. Just needed a little persuasion. Tell me if I miss any. Tight. You're just holding plastic down, so don't go nuts tightening those. Oh, that's gonna bug me that I have this, and that push pin receiver is down there, so we'll just leave that there. For now, I'll see if I can find it. Here's a little cap. One of them is missing, but I think I'm gonna hit that too while I'm over there. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the splines of the words of the windshield wipers and make sure that those can come off. Don't get it on your new black paint job. Yeah, make sure they can come off next time. Well, here's the first test. Anti-seize is not the best thing to get on things. It kind of stays there. That's okay though. That's going to be covered up by the windshield washer, windshield blade, wiper blade, something like that. Alright, passenger side blade. You can see the dirt where it's been sitting. That's a good judge of where to put it. Okay. And the nut. The nut is I think it's a 15 millimeter. Yes, 15 millimeter. Done with a 10. These things you don't need to torque down either. There you go. Just, you know, snuggy tight. If your wiper arms are looking gnarly, you can probably hit these with this stuff too. There we go. And where did that nut go? Here it is. The nut actually could help you trying to get these off, because using that puller was a little bit sketchy when it's just a little pointy surface on a flat surface. It kind of wants to slide off. But if you have the nut there, it will just stay inside the nut. If you have it up above the top of the post that you're putting it, that you're attaching to, or trying to get off. You know, mechanic stuff. Okay, that one's kind of stubborn, but she's on there. Pay attention to driver's side and passenger side. Sometimes they are different. And these are definitely different. This one is straight right here. That one over there has one of those. Alright, so let's paint our little cap. I gotta find another one of these somewhere. This is literally the only thing this car is missing. So that's what she looks like. Not bad. I mean, it's not in full sun. What I can tell a difference. Let's see over here. Yep, she looks good. Now, this doesn't look that good. Tell me in the comments below, should I do this? Javier, Dan, Rick, should I go ahead and just go nuts with all of this? I don't think so. Probably just the parts you can see that are visible to the naked eye. So here's a nice comparison. Yeah, gray plastic or black? I'm going for black, even if it is tuxedo black. Looks kind of nice. So this one is pretty much dry. Pro tip here, maybe just common sense, take it out in the sun, look at it, like I've got some thin areas here, just to make sure, you know, you can't see that when you're in the garage and the lighting's not that great. So if you're going for okay, then go ahead and take a look at it in the sun, see how it dries out, then hit it again. And versus this 99 Mustang, this plastic Ford has fared way better than my 2014 Chevy plastic. Go Ford. Still not as nice as this stuff though. And for a Lincoln, would you have anything else other than tuxedo black? Okay, back to the Camaro. This is when you clean everything out that you possibly can before you put all this back together. I don't know where this stuff even came from. This car's not been outside in I don't know how long. This is kind of weird looking, but that's my PCV hose coming from the other side into my intake, which is way over here. Still, again, roughed in. Have to get it trimmed down eventually. Keeping in mind I have plumbing to hook up. This thing gonna drop down in? Oh yeah. Oh no. Alright, so these corners I remember them being more of a pain than this. This is actually drops in very easy. Don't let me forget about the plumbing, which runs through here. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, since this is my my washer fluid line, yeah, I don't have a very good connection here or here, so I'm going to have to replace this with some barbed fittings. And for the purposes of today, she's just going in. Replaced this windshield a while ago. You should check out that video if you ever want to see one of those installs going on. This side overlaps that side. And again, boy, in the back it just fit right in. For some reason I remember this thing being way more of a hassle than this. This is a piece of cake. So it's all push pins. That's it, just plastic push pins, and then your seal, which is right here, goes on this way with these behind. Get them all lined up. Gives you a little contrast in colors or finishes. Like this seal should not be like that. That's a good contrast. There's something. Oh, it's probably the plumbing. It's always the plumbing. Holds all those down. Holds it down in the middle. Holds it together. Peace, love, and harmony. Not a whole lot of that going on right now. Alright. She's in. Okay. She's in, and then once we get our two little plastic holder downers in there, then it should hold that together. I've got some that are broken. Only one side. I need to bite the bullet and just buy some more. It's on the list, man. It's on the list. Okay, 100% better. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, that looks great. You know, stuff like this help keep you motivated on getting your project done, or help breathe some new life into what you already have, to where maybe you don't get into car payments again. After about 500 miles, these are starting to discolor, showing that it is drawing in something, so I'll check that here in a little while. So I saw this video the other day about, I think it was 15 things that were going to go wrong with your like 07 to 14 or 16, whatever, Chevy Silverado. And I tell you what, I just about put my truck up for sale after watching that. But I had to remember, my truck has 143 or 44,000 miles on it now, and none of those things that they mentioned in that video have gone wrong with mine. Like I think it was radiator, nice radiator, condenser. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff that probably has gone wrong with people's vehicles, or I don't know, maybe it went wrong with that truck, or he's getting all just collecting everything off of these Silverado truck forums or something. I don't know. But all of those things he talked about there, I didn't have any issues whatsoever. Of course, I got the truck at 80,000 miles, so maybe those were all sorted out by then. Good for me. And I didn't have to pay for any of it. That's nice. But it sure seemed like a doomsday type video, just about what could go wrong with your vehicle. So with this one, the only thing that's been really weird with it was right after Hurricane Ian, where the truck literally sat in my driveway and probably got 80-mile-an-hour winds with wind-driven rain. My human machine interface stopped working. So when I went out to start it, after the storm had passed, yep, no screen, no nothing. I of course looked up videos, and I took out the actual module twice, and sometimes you've got an issue with the cable connection from that to your screen. Nope, everything was absolutely good. So I ordered another one off of Evil Bay, and before it got here, the darn thing started working again. So I think maybe it had some moisture that got in there and just had to dry out. I don't know, but I've never had an issue with that thing, and that's been 2 or 3 days ago since it started working. So it's been working just fine ever since. Could you watch this all day? I'm gonna let that drain a little bit. So I had to put a new gasket on this oil drain plug. It was dripping just a little bit when I got the vehicle, and turns out this is an oversized plug, so somebody's not been kind to these threads in this oil pan. But I tell you what, this O-ring, or it's a washer with a rubber center, that thing has worked just fine. Now when you're tightening these, don't over tighten it. You're just creating a seal. You're not clamping anything together. Just like that. Now onto the oil filter. There's the oil filter. You guys have seen those go on and off. One thing they did mention in that everything wrong with your truck video, which had a follow-up, by the way, of like 5 more things, bringing the total between 20 and 30. The drive shaft on these, they did mention it was thin aluminum. They weren't kidding. Now it might be okay that it's bigger than a traditional, so therefore you have more surface area and it can be thinner. I don't know, but this is a very thin wall aluminum drive shaft. Very surprised about that. But again, I've towed a vehicle with this, no problems. Haven't had any problems with this being out of balance. They do talk about the Chevy shake, which may be attributed to the drive shaft, or I don't know what, but mine's okay. Okay, oil filter's on, hand tight. This truck takes 6 quarts, the 4.3 liter V6. You've seen oil go in engines before. Didn't spill a drop, but I did spill several drops. That's done. So normally this would be the time I'd plug my merch, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. except I don't have merch. So if you've got any Jay Hunto's Garage merch, please send me some.
Jay Hunto's Garage. Definitely check it out.
Gaping hole in the oil pan. Let's do that again.
Jay Hunto's Garage.
Nothing at all. However, okay, now you get to watch the headless man.
Jay Hunto's Garage.
So the GoPro does have a wider lens. So if you see Jay Hunto's Garage merch out there, send me some.
Jay Hunto's Garage.
Then the Canon, but come on man, is the quality that much better? I don't know. My Canon was $200 and some, the GoPro was like $4 something.
Jay Hunto's Garage.
Hi everybody, welcome to Jay Hunto's Garage. Let's do this. Today we're going to do some upgrades, I guess cosmetic upgrades on a couple of my vehicles and something else. Hi everybody, this is a smorgasbord buffet and also a weird circumstance with an oil pan. Welcome back to the channel.